This is a board that was sent to me, a fellow that owns a Addams family, and it wasn't communicating with the CPU any longer. And I'm seeing this more and more in these older games. That capacitor right there in the center of the picture, C2, begins to leak, and the electrolyte that comes out of it is corrosive. And in this case, it corroded traces, all those ones that are bare copper now. I have coated those with a conformal coating, so they're not really bare copper, but all the copper that you can see there was corroded to some extent. And of course, you want to get rid of that because that corrosion is like cancer. It'll just keep on going. U1 right here, the trace leading from it to U2, pin 1, was compromised, and it was also compromised left to U1. And so that pin is the chip enable pin for all those LS374s down the line. So that would be the reason that the CPU was unable to communicate with this driver board. Also, I believe it was pin 15 there. I've got a black dot next to it on U1 indicating that pin was severed also. So I had to use trace wire on the back of it. I'm testing it today in my whitewater machine. Hello, Dennis Nordman. So let's go into test. Solenoid test. So you could hear all of those running. And now let's go to, I'm going to skip flasher test. I got a better way of showing that. General illumination, and the circuitry that was compromised up there by the corrosion was the zero cross circuitry. So it's important to rectify that situation so that dimming of the GI circuits can occur. I've got LEDs in here so you can see they don't dim so well, but the incandescents that I've got in here, you can see that they're dimming. So that's all good. All lamps. The corroded area didn't have anything to do with the lamps except for the chip enable going over to it, but that's all working correctly. Lamps and flashers. So it's actually turning on all the lamps, and then all the flashers are turned on also. So that's a good way to tell that everything's working properly. You can see all those flashers coming on periodically. So, this one under Bigfoot Cave, it's a little hard to see, but those are all working properly. Tested the voltage on this driver board. It's at 5.01. In my game, your mileage may vary. I did replace the primary reason for resets in these old boards is C5. And in this particular board, C11 was a little domed. So while I had it here, I replaced it and then dated the cap so that the client would know the date that it was replaced. Also, I have a fix I'm implementing. It's a little hard to see here, but there's a diode attached to the bottom of this sand resistor here. And the purpose of that is to prevent, if you get connectors connected incorrectly, it can blow up C11, which may have been the reason that C11 was a little domed in the first place. Also replace C4 here as a matter of course. That's indicted in resets periodically. The header pins on this game looked fine, so I left them alone. So I'm going to get this back to the client, and I thank you very much for sending it in.